Jason Robinson piles pressure on Steve Borthwick as England face potential Six Nations disaster. In Paris, former World Cup winner Jason Robinson has delivered a blunt assessment of England's struggles ahead of their decisive clash with France national rugby union team, warning that the team has lost its identity during a disastrous Six Nations championship campaign. The crosscode legend, who played a crucial role in England's historic triumph at the 2003 Rugby World Cup, believes the national side is currently in a worrying state. After a series of disappointing performances, Robinson says England now look like a team without direction, confidence, or a clear plan. His comments come as head coach Steve Borthwick prepares his side for a daunting trip to Paris, where defeat could seal one of the worst campaigns in England's modern rugby history. A Six Nations campaign spiraling out of control. England entered this year's Six Nations with optimism. A strong run of victories in the lead-up to the tournament had fueled belief that the team was moving in the right direction and could challenge the continent's elite sides. However, that optimism has evaporated rapidly. Over the past few weeks, England have suffered consecutive defeats against the Scotland national rugby union team, the Ireland national rugby union team, and most shockingly, the Italy national rugby union team. The loss to Italy was particularly painful as it marked the first time England had ever been beaten by Italy in the Six Nations era. For a nation with England's rugby pedigree, the defeat represented a historic low point. The result not only dented England's reputation, but also intensified scrutiny on Borthwick and his coaching staff. A record England desperately want to avoid the final round of the championship now presents England with a grim possibility. If they lose to France in Paris, it would mark the first time in history that England have lost 4 matches in a single Six Nations tournament. Such a result would also condemn them to their worst ever finish in the competition, leaving them 5th in the standings. The gravity of the situation has not gone unnoticed by supporters or officials in fact, the Rugby Football Union took the unusual step of addressing the growing frustration among fans even before the tournament concluded. Statements from Twickenham rarely appear while a campaign is still in progress. But the level of unrest among supporters appears to have forced the governing body to respond, with bookmakers already heavily favoring France for the upcoming clash. Many observers believe England are facing an uphill battle. Jason Robinson's blunt verdict. Robinson, who remains one of England's most celebrated rugby figures, has not hidden his concern about the team's current trajectory. Reflecting on England's dramatic decline, he admitted that the transformation has been shocking to witness. At the beginning of the tournament, England were riding a wave of momentum and were being discussed as potential contenders for the next global cycle. Yet within a matter of weeks, those expectations have collapsed. According to Robinson, the most alarming aspect of England's struggles is the loss of identity. He believes the team now lacks a clear style of play and appears uncertain about how it wants to approach matches. For a national side that has historically prided itself on structure and discipline, this absence of clarity is deeply troubling. Robinson suggested that the players themselves seem unsure of the system they are operating. In his view, England no longer resemble a cohesive unit with a shared purpose. No standout performers. Another issue highlighted by Robinson is the absence of individual brilliance within the squad. In most struggling teams, there are still 1 or 2 players capable of producing match-winning performances. However, Robinson believes England currently lack such standout figures. While the squad possesses considerable talent on paper, he argues that none of the players are performing at the level typically expected in the Six Nations. This collective dip in form has left England vulnerable against teams that appear more confident and cohesive. Robinson's concern is that the problems go beyond simple dips in form and point instead to deeper structural issues within the team. Borthwick keeps faith in his players despite the growing criticism. Borthwick has resisted making sweeping changes to his starting lineup for the clash in Paris. The England head coach has opted largely to keep faith with the players who suffered the shock defeat against Italy. The only alteration to the starting 15 sees Ollie Chessum return to the side in the back row, replacing Sam Underhill. Meanwhile, Guy Pepper will move from blindside flanker into the open side position previously occupied by Underhill. For Chessum, The selection represents his first start at number 6 since England faced France in Lyon 2 years ago. Borthwick's decision to maintain continuity suggests he believes the existing squad can still produce the performance required to end the tournament on a positive note. However, critics argue that more drastic changes may be necessary to address the team's underlying problems. The attack under scrutiny. One of the most consistent criticisms directed at England during the tournament has been their lack of attacking creativity. Despite possessing talented backs and experienced playmakers, England have struggled to break down opposition defenses. Their attacking patterns have often appeared predictable, relying heavily on kicking for territory rather than attempting to create opportunities with ball in hand. Robinson believes this approach has made England easier to defend against. When teams know that England are likely to kick rather than attack, they can prepare their defensive structures accordingly. The result has been an England attack that frequently stalls before reaching the opposition try line. That Lee Blackett's influence question the struggles in attack are particularly puzzling given the presence of attack coach Lee Blackett within the coaching setup. Blackett joined the England staff after building a reputation for his innovative attacking strategies at Bath Rugby. Many supporters expected his arrival to transform England's offensive play. Former England center Jonathan Joseph had previously spoken enthusiastically about Blackett's abilities, praising his tactical insight and attention to detail. Joseph believed Blackett had the potential to unlock England's attacking potential and help the team play a more dynamic style of rugby. However, England's performances in the Six Nations have raised questions about whether Blackett has been given the freedom to fully implement his ideas. The tension within the coaching approach. Joseph has suggested that Borthwick's priorities may be limiting England's attacking evolution. According to the former center, Borthwick's background as a forwards coach means his primary focus remains on set pieces and defensive organization. While those elements are crucial in international rugby, Joseph believes the balance may have shifted too far away from attacking creativity. He argues that if Blackett is not being given sufficient time during training sessions to develop attacking structures, the team will struggle to evolve. Joseph also emphasized the importance of allowing players to express themselves without fear of making mistakes. If players feel that errors will be punished too harshly, they may become reluctant to attempt ambitious attacking plays. A predictable game plan. Robinson echoed similar concerns when discussing England's current tactical approach. From his perspective, the team's reliance on a predictable kicking strategy has become a major problem. While kicking remains an essential part of modern rugby, Robinson believes England have become overly dependent on it. Opponents now expect England to play conservatively, making it easier to anticipate their decisions. This lack of unpredictability has contributed to England's struggles in attack. Robinson suggested that the players appear to be playing with caution rather than confidence. Instead of taking calculated risks, they seem more focused on avoiding mistakes. Confidence at a low point. The psychological impact of England's recent defeats cannot be ignored. Confidence plays a vital role in elite sport, and Robinson believes England are currently suffering from a significant lack of belief, the challenge awaiting in Paris. Unfortunately for England, their final Six Nations match presents perhaps the toughest possible test. France are widely regarded as one of the strongest teams in world rugby and will be eager to finish their campaign with a victory. Playing away in Paris adds another layer of difficulty for Borthwick's side. A defining moment for England Rugby. Saturday's match could prove to be a defining moment for England's current project under Borthwick.